Whoa, now that's your boy once again, the Tooth Wonder, back with another video, man. Now, again, I'm not attempting to clout chase, so I won't put people's names in the title, right? I just use this as a teachable moment for myself, and then maybe, others can, learn something from the situation. You know, I wish the best for everybody, man. You know what I'm saying? But I just did a video real quick about how I believe Ringo was using dark psychology, almost a 48 laws of power type manipulation tactics, swaying public opinion. I mean, and it alludes to what I said, because again, he said it was about brotherhood. But then, if you listen to these people long enough and able to pull or extract what they're saying and the motive, then you're able to see what their true intentions are. If you let anybody talk long enough, eventually they tell themselves, or as the words which we're all subject to, from the abundance of the heart, the mouth speak. He just did another little jump, and I'm getting so I ain't gonna watch no more. I'm about tired of it, right? But he just said I'm playing chess, not checkers, and I have strategically set traps. Why are you setting traps, sir? You see what I'm saying? And then how are you able to set these traps? Like I said earlier, if unless you're able to perceive or attempt to manipulate based on being around the man, like, okay, I want you here, but to get you here, I'm gonna do this knowing or under the belief that you'll respond to this particular manner. And when you respond to this particular manner, then I pull the trigger with this. You see what I'm saying? And he's basically alluding as to such. I guess he did technically catch him in a lie. Um, okay, but the lie he caught him in, as far as, and I'm not trying to, woo the woo, is totally irrelevant to the crux of the matter. So now, let me break down his credibility. Let me change the image of how people see him. What's the motive for that? And I said it's almost like he's playing Soul Calibur, because if he can destroy the credibility and the image of the man, then where are New Breed's followers going to go to? They must now go to the new king, who's on top of the heap, on top of the mountain. You know what I'm saying? He's playing almost these under the belief that he's mentally superior to him. And I mean, like I said, I've read it. I don't operate in it. I just read it in order to understand it. Just like in other books that I've read about the prophets, like not only did they know the scriptures, but they were well versed in the culture of the land they were in captivity. So they could debate those people. They could debate scripture. They were just well-rounded, but they didn't conform or use the information in warfare. You know, it doesn't say the battle is not mine, but the Most High's. And that's kind of something he dealt with me with, because now I'm afraid these people are going to try to take me out when they've never been able to take me out. When all the weapons have formed, but they haven't prospered. And this is how I know they never prospered, because the people that tried to take me out, one, I never became, no, I dealt with stuff, but I never became bitter or turned into them or stooped down to their level as much as I was tempted to do so. And now these people are now exhibiting behavior that's unbecoming, and now they're revealing themselves without me having to vindicate myself after a period of time. You know what I'm saying? And even if you knew these tactics, they still wouldn't work, because the Most High don't want you operating like that, so it'll be able to fail anyway. You see what I'm saying? But I wanted to make this about almost the gift of foreshadowing, because I just said this and I was able to pull it out. Not saying I'm mentally superior, because this isn't coming from a mental place. One of my first master senseis in the treatment world, a guy named Woody Curry, very well renowned, and he dropped it, the recovery. He knows the scientific, aspects, but he dropped it to you in terms you can understand, in a target like a street dude who's in, whatever. And he basically articulated, which I come to be true, like let's say your intuition, right? They can't really quantify that, but they say that the cells that make up your brain and the cells that are in your stomach are actually the same type of cells. That's why people say, I got a gut feeling. You know what I'm saying? Because subconsciously, you perceive things that your conscious mind may not be aware of. Just like if you get the inkling to not go somewhere, but you want to go, but there's this not, I shouldn't go. But it's going to be fun. You see what I'm saying? Like that struggle. Or I should pursue this, but I don't know how it's going to work. It's because you're receiving information that's that's on a higher level of consciousness. Technically, um, and this isn't the first time I've done this. I've done this like just navigating my own path and, in the heart of Baltimore City, right? And walk through that relatively unscathed. The only thing that was vexing is because I wasn't able to do certain things because it just wasn't my time to do it, like get a job or get in a functional relationship or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But it's almost like the Most High purposely, like I got some skills, at least I think so. But I'm gonna leave you on the bench. I'm like, why is he leaving me on the bench? I need to get in the game. I can contribute. Yeah. But I don't need you to do that right now. I want you to sit on the bench so you can perceive the totality of the game. It's almost like how Jordan, he still got his bunnies, but he started beating people with his mind because he had played the game so much. He's now cerebral. You know what I'm saying? So now I don't have to just beat you with sheer athleticism. I can beat you with will, determination, and my knowledge of the game. When they talk about these bro, or they say LeBron can like articulate the game like this, where if you guarding me and your right foot is 6 inches over, then I know to hit you with the hezzy. But you can't read that in a book. You read that when you become a student of the game. You know what I'm saying? When you just do it for the love of the game. He can't. Not saying New Breed ain't smart or nothing like that. He's bringing them into his wheelhouse, and you can't win there because he's got the terrain set up. He's baited you into a battle where he's already set up landmines, and then say you don't come over, then I'll insinuate question your manhood. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tempt you so bad. You know what I'm saying? Knowing you want to do it, you know what I'm saying? And then I just seen a good brother. I think he calls himself Wormwood, but his channel's SRBG, Semen Retention and Body Gains. And he's helped me understand programs. Like if you in the inner city, like there are certain programs. Like in LA, you got a gang program everybody falls into, or the sports program, the single mother program. And he helped me kind of, and I see it. I just wasn't able to put a label on it to identify it and call it and its various characteristics and attributes, right? But now it's almost to the point. I'm not saying it's about myself, but you remember The Matrix, and there are so many nuances in that movie that it's becoming more real every day. He comes out the proverbial Matrix. They tell him he the one, but he fresh out the Matrix. He can't see it until he's put into situations that actually bring out what was already dormant in him. Then he comes to a level of consciousness or understanding that this program, this matrix, this reality, because now I see myself clear, that which looks so threatening to me has now become ones and zeros. So actually, even though the program is running fast, I'm able to block the attacks from my perspective moving slowly. You see what I'm saying? There's a chasm or a splitting of time. You're moving fast, but because of my perception, I'm able to effortlessly block these attacks slowly. You see what I'm saying? Just like I always use that Master Sensei analogy. You like the Chinese samurai type of guy who's old and has all this wisdom, but you've never seen him rush. But somehow he's quicker than you. You see what I'm saying? Like you might try to challenge him mentally, but he already perceived it and did something that later on you would learn something, knowing you were going to do that. You know what I'm saying? But not for manipulation purposes or anything like that, or, you know what I'm saying? Because he wants the student to evolve. That's the whole point of a teacher, to evolve the student. Not to make the student look, you know what I'm saying? I slightly digress. But it's almost like, I'll call this like the gift of foreshadowing. Because if you're observative enough, if you have enough, social keen or whatever, you can see the move or the plot. And I validated this because I did it twice at a job where they're tempted to do the same thing because my reputation was intact. They were around my energy and they perceive he's really not like us, like Kendrick. And then they despise you for such. And then they lay traps and various whatever, or they dangle various carrots to see if you'll bite. Because once you'll bite, then we got this over here. How they say it, it's not actually the trap that kills the rat or the mouse. It's actually the love of the cheese. Mm, 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 mm. Well, not. And here's my prediction. Not as far as that situation, but we're going to see this more as things get harder, as this dark spiritual imposition continues through the news media and various current events. You're going to start seeing people exact these tactics for survival purposes, for the survival of their own ego and image that ain't real. That's why I attempt to make sure and constantly check myself to make sure, like I said about my spotty sense, which seems to be keen based on my own observation. And I think he gave it to me to show me, and so that I can navigate, because I am empathetic. So I'm going to be surrounded by vultures. I'm going to be surrounded by wolves, but still have to be, was it wise as a serpent, yet harmless as a dove. And there was a temptation for folk not to play it. So, I do a preemptive strike or whatever, whatever. And I might have won that particular war, but I'd have lost the battle because now I done fed into you. Now I done came off my high horse. Such as, people talk yin yang about Trump all day long, but do you think he really cared? Because in his mind, not just for politically, but from what I've seen of the man, he don't care. Because in his mind, he on a different plane than you, whether you realize it or not. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of, not an ego or big-headedness, I kind of feel like I'm on a different vibration than everybody. That's why, just like with my homies, yeah, but just casual conversation or small talk does nothing for me. I'm on another plane, B. Word up, man. I need something to challenge my mind, my thinking. You know what I'm saying? And the average person I've run into don't really do that. You know what I'm saying? So I had to go to YouTube and check out content. And then what happens is, I don't even know the content exists, but as I continue to step, brothers who may be more knowledgeable than me in a particular area or skill set, they hit me right where I, like, bung, you know what I'm saying? Like Tom Brady, right where I need it as I step into a new zone where I need these type of awareness, skills, insight, wisdom, knowledge, so on and so forth. This is actually a good, I don't say a good thing, but all things work for the good of those who are called, and who love Yah and are called according to his purpose. I wouldn't be where I'm at now, able to navigate the way I navigate, unless I hadn't got and went through extreme, I ain't talking about regular heartbreak, extreme suffering, extreme vexation. That's why I don't need no social validation. That's why, love bombing don't work on me. I appreciate it, but I don't need it. So you're not going to fatten me up for the kill. You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, I want to do certain things and have certain experiences, but nobody thought I'd be like that. And not just the external stuff. I'm talking about internally how I navigate, how I dodge temptation, how I confess my faults without worrying about what you think. And if I don't worry about you can't use it against me. I don't give it. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about what you think. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to, win your approval. If I do win your approval, it's because of the character that I exhibit, the heart that I have. You know what I'm saying? And if not, that's cool, fine, and dandy. Because when all this is over with, ain't nobody else going to you stand for the judge. You're going by yourself. And he probably not going to ask you about other people. He's going to ask you about you. Well, they did this to me. Yeah, I know. But I told you respond like this. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about them. I'm going to talk to them later. You right here. All that deflection and they did this to me. That shit not going to work, And I had to get out of that. They doing me wrong. Yeah, they doing you wrong because you letting them do you wrong. Because you're not learning. That's why y'all keep taking the same test over and over again and the same stuff keep happening because you haven't learned the lesson, my son. Then once I started doing that, all the stuff that used to paralyze me per se back in the day is no longer an issue. I'm the type, brother, something could have beat me 1,000 times. Once I get the victory once I crack the code, it's over with. Now I'm like Neil. You know what I'm saying? They threw a 47-piece haymaker. And I just moved my chin 1 inch. It was close to hit me, but it wasn't nowhere near close. You know what I'm saying? Because I saw your shoulder twitch. And based on and analyzing the data in my background apps in my cranium, I know this man, you about to do this. And I'm confident in my own perception or ability to perceive things, and I govern myself accordingly. Then, and it's also within, I guess, dark psychology, where when they pull a move and it don't work the way they want it, they get mad with you. Because in ego, they believe they mentally superior. But it also stops them from seeing things in totality and the big picture. It's like, cuz, referring to the other part of man, yo, looking terrible. Now, even okay, from what I see, it do look like you caught the man alive. But now it looks so much like overkill, ain't nobody gonna care. Leave that man. Now it's like leave the man alone. You know what I'm saying? I think that is in the art of war. Once you get, I'm paraphrasing. Once you get the victory, leave it alone. Don't keep stomping on him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Back in the day, brother used to fight. When he hit the ground, man, don't stomp the man. He down. You know what I'm saying? You want to stomp on him and do the Hulk Hogan leg drop and all this type of crap. Oh, man, come on, cuz. Now, yeah, you won the fight. Based on the court of public opinion, I guess. But now you lost the court of public opinion because they see how trife you is. You know what I'm saying? He'll end up winning this one by default, or you know what I'm saying? I'll win by losing, or how they say in the recovery world, you have to win because you can't beat addiction by still playing the addiction game. You beat it by not fucking with it. Winning by the art of surrender. I ain't fucking with you, cuz. Yeah, you won, cuz. I don't even care. Yeah. I'm gone, cuz. I don't care what you said. I don't care what you think. I know what happened. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to get back on that type of tip. It's like and I used to have this in treatment where I would go through these flashes periodically of deja vu. Like, yo, I seen this scene before. He was right there. Like when Neo kept seeing that black cat. And then he had seen it enough time, he knew what it meant, so he knew what to do. You know what I'm saying? I think this whole thing, to some degree, is almost a simulation. Like the Nas album, it's already written. You know what I'm saying? We're just going through the story. You know what I mean? Like I practice a certain amount of detachment, even from my own self. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a man, my flesh rages or whatever. But to some degree, I'm getting better with it. I'm able to detach from myself, view myself from the outside, looking back in, and then tell me what I need to do or how I need to navigate, and then jump back inside myself. Like everybody, and I ain't hitting on nothing as far as like maybe societal with, degrees or a whole bunch of finance or woo. But like now, even people with higher levels of education seek my assistance or my wisdom or whatever the case may be in life circumstance they find themselves in. You know what I'm saying? And they got way more education than me. So obviously, if you're seeking my advice, you must perceive some genuosity or wisdom. And typically, me and wisdom don't go in the same sentence. I was a fool with it. I just try to be cool with it. The cool fool. You know what I'm saying? But wow, man. Wow. That's all I got, bro. This life thing, you gotta embrace the journey, baby. Cause it's along the journey. I covered this one. That's where you get all the skill sets to prepare you for your proverbial promised land. Just like notice if you leave any type of bondage or let's say whatever situation you're in, you just don't jump into a new situation. That's why typically people who break up and then hurry up and that shit don't work. Because in the transition period, that's where you learn, you get by yourself, you learn, you discover you get new skills that benefit you when you do get into something functional. You know what I'm saying? All that house of pain jumping around don't work because you never actually deal with the matter at hand. You just using something else to distract you or to cover for whatever else the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Like almost, I don't know if you call it narcissism or whatever the case may be. Or I noticed this trait, right, which I don't exploit for my own personal, and I see it all over the place, where I find that people who have the inability to be by themselves or the people who attempt to paint a narrative of themselves or others are more oftentimes than not inwardly devoid. So certain common traits that go along with that. One, typically, you won't see them by themselves for long. You know what I'm saying? One. Two, they play victim, right? Or they'll do what I call the verbal sleight of hand bait and switch, right? Where um, they'll say you weak, right? But then they exhibit weak attributes. You see what I'm saying? They'll portray toughness, but then in the tough situation, you see them do the opposite. You know what I mean? Like these prison type of tactics where, like, I'll give you an example, right? So I worked at a treatment center and came to work one day. Now, I've, been around, now I'm from the wood, essentially, right? But I've been privy to folk, jail, streets, jobs, whatever, right? Bar, whatever. So I'm able to understand various, like SRBG said, various program operating in people and the archetypes. So there was a Muslim population, but it wasn't like real Muslim stuff that you would see maybe, you know, in the Middle East. This is the Negro institutionalized version of Islam, where it's a lot of power. I know information, so I assert dominance and power over you, whatever, whatever. So it's an older guy, been to prison, whatever, whatever, don't eat pork, whatever, right? So I came to work one day and said something to him real slight about something. It wasn't even that heavy. So the brother hit me with the and dismissed me, right? Like, who he talking to? Who is him? You know what I'm saying? Even though I work there, right? And I don't get off on having authority. So I didn't take it personal. I said, oh, he's having a bad day. And I went on about my task at hand. But my brain remembered that, though. Not telling myself in real time I need to remember that. So it took a mental snapshot. So mind you, now I'm in an area, now, time goes on, and I had to come to another town where he's from and, run some errands, whatever I had to do. So, and mind you, prior to this, and I told other co-workers that was still cool at the time, I said, I feel like somebody better try me, yo. So I'm kind of like on guard, I'm kind of like hypervigilant, whatever, right? But I'm thinking I'm tripping, but I don't know what people are saying, because I'm different. And they typically talk bad or whatever, right? So I steps into the particular Wawa, get me a cup of Joe, and I see this particular individual, but I don't feel the need to speak. And normally I be on whatever type of time I'm on. So typically I do see people I know, but if they ain't seen me, they ain't seen me. So I'm in and out. So I go grab my coffee, whoop the whoop. So there's I guess, coffee station kind of blocking the view, but I see him out my peripheral. So I get my coffee. Now I'm sliding up because I really don't want to engage with this dude because my spidey sense tingling. And I don't feel like nobody trying me. So as I slide up to the self-cash checkout to exit stage left, he slides up. Now there's a clear view. Mind you, I can see him out my peripheral and I can feel his proximity to me, but I'm not acknowledging that he's standing there. I'm, focused on what I'm doing, or at least playing like I am. So I see that he sees me, even though I act like I don't see him, right? And he whispers something under his breath. But because it was under his breath and it wasn't direct, I didn't acknowledge it and continued to do what I do. Now, I don't know if that emboldened him. And I think I said in another video, like with slip talk, my brain won't allow me to fully register. It just popped in my head as slip talk, like Terminator. And then I start running my program. So whatever he said it slightly louder enough that he had to get my attention. So I turn and look, and he hits me with the you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I mean? Hits me with the up down, like, yeah, that's what I thought, boy. Hit me with the up down and turns to rotate. And this is why I talk about Master Sensei being faster than people, but moving gracefully. So as he turns to rotate back towards facing the deli, before he fully rotates, I'm already in front of him. Like in his in his personal space. I said, yo, cuz, what you say, bro? He hurry up and changed his tune. Oh man, nice seeing you. I was just fucking with you, man. I was like, oh yeah, I thought, okay, I was just checking, cuz. All right. Then I go back to what I was doing. I'm going out the door now. He's nice shoes, bro. Yeah, good see you, homie. Yeah, recovery. Yeah, man. Shut up, man. I already know what type of time it is. Cause here's the I call this the I'm playing but I'm serious tactic, right? So he's serious. At least that's what it looked like to me. That's why I went to check his temperature. But had I not done that and went on about my business, he'd have acted like he got out on or like he chumped me. But then when I get serious with you, now you playing. You see what I'm saying? That's why I say you can't beat these folks. Because no matter what you do, they're just going to jump to the other side. And ain't nobody got time for all this jumping around. Let's just meet head up if that's the case. But, that's just my, just various insights of what you'll see. And everybody think they slick. Everybody, like in reality, if they write books on it, you might put your own seasoning on it, But nobody is running any type of new spectacular game. There's nothing new under the sun. I've seen, especially when I was in Baltimore, I've seen 40,000 people running the same type of hustle game. That's why I started Bamboozle Again News Network. Here's rule one to not get bamboozled. Stop listening to people. Because the longer you sit there and listen to that bullshit, they're going to move you off your post or get you to question what you think you believe, and now they doing the thinking for you. They're getting you to question your own self. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know more than you. So why is you help me then? And typically just go direct. Don't do all that verbal Gregory Hines, Harry Bell. Just go direct. Once they still do up, go on about your business. Because they just ready to do a whole bunch of words. I ain't got time for that, man. And I just never understood, me personally, why do people, man, is it a survival tactic? Is it, you know, I don't know. Like, I just never wanted to crush people or manipulate people on my way to the top, yo. If anything, I want to bring people along. I understand everybody can't go, but why I can't, as I go up the rough side of the mountain, why I can't bring people up? Why do I have to step on folks' shoulders to get to where I'm going at? And use people as a stepping ladder? But I don't know, man. I'm gone, bro. I'm gonna holler at y'all. Ooh, ah.